Okay, so the units are finished. So the final fixing for the drawers, the way I've decided to do this is use the slot rather than the hole, and that can give me some forward adjustment. And once I'm ready, I'm just going to use one of these center finding drill, and the reason is if it's slightly off that screw, it will rub the side of the drawer. So by using a center drill, that really helps by using that on a center finding drill. Okay, so because I've decided to use the thinner ply here, the 12mm, and the 18 on the ends, when you get two 12s together, it's not too thick compared to the ends. The downside is that, as we all know, the sheep goods are not perfectly flat, and this is from a good supplier. So what I've decided is I've just put these dominoes in, more to line it up, and then I just do a dab of glue just to actually hold and clamp it overnight. This last unit does have a lot of ply, so it's very heavy. I got these Bessie clamps as part of a deal, and I wasn't sure I was ever going to use them. And I've got to be honest, they are so handy, and they don't damage anything that you're clamping, which is excellent. So what's going to be really handy when I finally fit this is, because we've got drawers here which we haven't had before in the other unit, I can actually screw through into here to really pull it up tight, which I couldn't do on the other unit, and I relied on the dominoes. It's a really good joint. It's these little tiny dominoes, which I wasn't sure what I'd use them for. It's almost as thin as a biscuit, but they're perfect for locating these type of units. So I'm just going to go around the back now. Okay, so I've got these cabinet fixings here. That's going to hold the back. This is where the lights are going to go, and the bottom again I can screw from the inside in, which I'm going to do now. Okay, so test fit of all the drawers. Now the units are clamped. Quite nice because it's full extension. You get the whole depth of the drawer. Really pleased with that, considering there's no drawer fronts and these are just hung pretty good. I mean, there's adjustment if we need to, when I get final installation, to pull them over, but they look really good. Gaps are all pretty much the same all the way up. The soft close action, which I was worried about with the big drawers, but that's working really well. Excellent. So just the hanging rail, got one in there and a little one in there, and then the lighting, and this one's ready to move in. So as before, I'm using this oval and one of these fittings, and I just made this simple template. I knew I'd be doing quite a few just for the holes alignment. So you've seen me use one of these before. This is the GLM 50, just a measuring digital measure, and for stuff like this, it is absolutely amazing. So I can put it where the fixing's going to go, and fire it directly into the cup, both sides, and it's going to give me an exact measurement. I'll take that to the saw and get that cut. Perfect. And that's the shelf, that's the rail in, and then the small rail is fitted as well. Here it's a half rail, and that's the unit finished. Really pleased with the second unit. Lots of marmoleum on it. Every shelf, every top. The non-edge banding style of this, it just seems so much more modern to expose ply, which we used to cover up, and they make ply so well now. These plies are actually part of the character, so very happy with that, very happy. Top drawer has a divider, big divider, you can just push to close. Middle drawer, no divider, and again some of the domino joints, I've got them exposed everywhere. I'm using the domino as a feature. Bottom drawer, the divider. Next video will be the install. Okay, so on this side I've decided to use like a plinth, and that gives me the ability to slide these cabinets around without having to use the front legs, which have been very problematic. On this other side where I used legs front and rear, it was very difficult to level and get adjusted, and the cabinets had to keep being removed and brought back. Whereas on this side I've got this dead level. I've also built it around one of this beam, which then runs up high level the other end, and it means I can slide these units around and get them together. And then basically the legs are almost for show. They are going to take a tiny bit of pressure as I bolt them down, but most of the load is being bared by the plinth I've put in. And when it comes to the dominoes, it's just literally a bead like this, just in case they need to be removed. I'm not going to get any glue on the units because I don't want to rip any unit apart in the future, but that tiny little bead on the very tip is all it needs. Okay, so that's the second unit installed, and you can see why I wasn't using any backs, because you get to see the wonderful wall. So we've got full opening. There's lights at the rear, which just should glow through the handles. So there's a sensor here. As soon as you walk in the room, the lights come on behind the unit, and they're on about a 10-minute timer. Okay, so that wraps up the build. I hope it's not been too long. I've tried to give as much detail along the way. If you refer back to any of the videos, you should see every part of this process, including the laminating on the first ones, to using the dominoes on the shelving system, and how I rebate. So you can see here why I didn't want any backs on the units. You get a better sense of space in the room, and you get a glimpse of the old wall. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next one, see you later.